the voice of Oyo State. When we are live, this is Aloore Radio, the voice of Oyo State.
They say that when you lose your way, find the road back home.
Rainy days and lonely nights, feel like I'm losing time. Nowhere else to go, so I chase the fading light. Up all night till dawn, wonder how many days I've gone. Will Papa take me back if I wanna go home? Hero, 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 ekpe wo me, ekpe wo me, ekpe wo.
Hello, amazing people. Good afternoon, and you're welcome to Aloore Radio. And don't forget, this is Talk Real Estate with Liskeru Oluwaseun. And today's topic, we'll be talking about the factors, the important factors to talk about, the important factors to look into before considering a real estate investment. And don't forget, we are live on Aloore Radio on YouTube and on Facebook, Aloore Radio, and the website www.alooreradio.com. Like I said, the topic for today is the factors, the important factors to consider before investing in real estate. I am Liskari Oluwaseun, the CEO of Kikes Luxury Homes. As we all know, and as we've been talking about since episode 1 to episode 4, Talk Real Estate with Liskari Oluwaseun, I've been telling you about the importance of real estate, what real estate is, what real estate investment is, the documentations, the title of a property, the documentations, the importance of documentations and property titles. And I've made it known to everyone that I've told everyone, and I've made it known that it is very, very important for you to invest in real estate and the reasons why you should invest in real estate. Okay, so going forward, there are a lot of factors to consider before investing in real estate. As we all know, every investment in the whole world today, you need to make a little research on them before you invest into something. You can't just invest into things without knowing, even if it is a little, about what you're investing into, without making a research about how safe it is, how good it is for you to invest into. I mean, we're talking about money here. We're talking about you putting your money into something, so you need to have a knowledge about what you're investing your money into, what to look out for, how safe it is for you. So there are different factors for you to consider before investing in real estate. Real estate isn't just something that you just put your money into and just buy for buying sake. You need to understand how the market works. You need to understand what works for you. You need to understand the right way to put in your money so that you don't fall at risks. You need to understand the right way to invest so that your investment is safe. So there are different factors for us to consider, and I'll be talking about different factors. Yes, some of the factors online today. Number 1 on my list, we have the type of properties. Before you invest into real estate, there are things you need to consider. Number 1, you need to consider the type of property you're buying. Before you buy something, you need to know the purpose of what you're buying it for. You need to know what you are buying. When you go to the market, you know what you're going to the market to get. You know the purpose of why you're going to the market. You know what exactly you want to get in the market. You don't just go to the market blindly. You go to the market knowing what you're going to the market for. Same thing as real estate. You need to know the type of property that you want in real estate. The size of the property you want. What kind of property do you want? Is it a commercial property you want? Is it a residential property you want? Is it what is the size of the property you want? What kind of family do you have? Do you have a large family? Do you want a 4-bedroom or do you want a 2-bedroom? Like, for example, imagine having a family of, you have you, your wife, and you have your children of about 5 kids or so, and you're thinking of getting maybe 2-bedroom. You know If you are buying a 2 bedroom, you know this won't be enough for the family. So these are the things that you need to consider before you come into real estate. What kind of property are we buying? What kind of property am I buying? Am I buying commercial property? Am I buying residential property? All of these put together will make you decide easily on what you want to do. It will make you know what exactly you want to do and make your decision very, very safe for you. So you need to know the type of property you're buying. You need to know, okay, what exactly is the type of, am I buying a duplex? Is it a bungalow that I want? I'm buying a property for my family, for my parents. My parents are old. What kind of property is advisable for them? Is it a bungalow or a duplex? Most times it is a bungalow, because they are old and climbing staircase up and down. So all of these are things that you need to put in place before you buy into real estate. Also, what kind of land am I buying? What type of property, what type of land do I want to buy? Am I buying in a commercial area? Am I buying in a residential area? You can't go to Bodija Market and say you want to buy a property where you want to live in with your family. It doesn't really make any sense. So you need to know what exactly you're going into. Am I buying a commercial property? Am I buying a residential property? Same way, you can't go into Kolapo Ishola, the estate, and say you want to buy a commercial property there. You want to build shops inside the estate. So all of these are things that you need to consider. It is very, very important for you to consider all of this. So number one, like I said, the type of property. And number two on my list is your budget. You need to consider your budget before buying into real estate. How much can I afford? How much property can I buy? This will make it easier for you to know where you want to look to. Can I afford a land of 80 million, or I can only afford a land of 800,000 naira? This will make it a lot easier, so that you don't start looking for property where you're not supposed to look for. So imagine you having maybe a budget of about 500k, 700k, or 1 million naira, and you're looking at Aerodrome or Kolapo. You know it's not going to work in these places, because they sell their properties in millions. So you need to know what your budget is. What is the maximum that I can go? What is the minimum I can go? This will help you decide the type of property you are going to be getting. So all of these are very, very important. There are things that you should really, really consider before you can invest in real estate. What is my budget? What kind of property do I want to buy? Can I afford an hectare of land? Can I afford an hectare? Can I afford a plot, just a plot? And which area exactly can I afford? Can my budget get me what I want? So number two, you need to check out for is your budget. Before you step out to buy anything, you know how much you're going to spend. When you're going to the market, you know your budget. You know how much you can afford to spend. You know, okay, this is what I'm going to buy, pepper and everything. Everything cannot exceed 30,000 naira. You know that is your budget. Same thing comes with real estate. You need to have a budget. There's nothing like, oh, I don't have a budget, I just want anything. Everyone has a budget. Before you go into anything, you know how much you can afford. You know how much you can put into it. You know how far you can stretch yourself, or how far you can stretch your bank account for you to get what you want. So the budget is very, very important before you even step out of your house. Just to make things easy for you, both for you, for your realtor, for your lawyer, for everybody involved in this deal. The budget is very important. So the number two factor to consider before investing in real estate, number one is type of property, number two is your budget, and number three on my list is the property location. Location is very, very important. What type of location do I want? What is going on in this location? You don't just, real estate isn't something that they just tell you come and buy and you just go there and buy without properly checking what exactly is in this location, what is in this neighborhood, what exactly is attracting people to come here. If I buy here, will I be able to make back my money in 2-3 years? What exactly is the development coming to this area? Bushes are different. Okay, when I tell you buy that bush, I don't mean you should just buy any type of bush. Some people have bought bush for years now, until today there's nothing. You need to have a foresight. You need to know, okay, what exactly is coming to do, what exactly is going on in this location, what are they doing in this location, why should I invest in this location, what does the neighborhood looks like. This is important. The property location is very, very important before you invest. If you are buying a commercial property, you need to know what exactly is going on in your location. If it is something that is going to favor the commercial property you're buying. I mean, if you're buying, you want to sell goods, what exactly is going on around that area that is going to bring back your money for you? So the property location is very, very important. The neighborhood status, what is going on in the neighborhood, what type of neighbors do I have? You don't just put your money anywhere and just buy any property anyhow. You need to consider all of this. What is going on in this place? How far is the market? Okay, you are buying a residential property. How far is the market to my house? What does transportation looks like? What does the road network looks like? Is this something that people can easily come to, or is it something that when I build my house on it, maybe when I buy the land and I finally build my house on it, I will start in the next 1 year, I want to sell it off because of the distance from the road to where my house is. We've seen a lot of people make this mistake, and in a year, 2 years, they just tell you, I want to sell it off, it's too far inside, the road is bad. They saw all of this before they bought the property, but for the fact that they didn't have all of this put together, like what to consider before buying, they just feel like, oh, it is cheap, let me just buy it. Then in the next 1-2 years, they just start telling you, I want to sell it off. I've seen someone that built a house, that place is extremely far. At some point, he had to give up the place and start renting another apartment in a close by area. These are things that you need to avoid. All things like this, you can feel like, oh, it is cheap, the land is cheap, let me just buy it and build. But you need to consider, is it worth it? How far is the market to your house? Is it that when you want to buy something in your area, you have to walk a mile before you can get anything at all to buy? How far with transportation? Will bike get to where you are? With transportation, anything can happen. So all of these are things that you need to consider before investing in real estate. Why should I buy this property? What is going on in my neighborhood? What is my neighborhood status? Is it commercial? Is it residential? And also, is it a waterlogged area? You don't just buy any property without checking all of this location properly, so that you don't, in the future, you don't start having issues with water. Even after all the filling, all the sand filling and everything, there's still water issue, and you have to spend extra money filling up everything. All of these are things that you need to consider. The property location is very, very important. Why am I buying in this area? What is going on in this area? So that is number 3 on my list. And number 4 on my list, factors to consider before investing in real estate. Number 4 is the property value. You need to run a value on the property that you're buying. How valuable is this property? If I should put my money in this property, okay, let's say you want to buy a property for short let. You want to buy this property and you want to let it out for short let. Will people come here? Will people come here for short let? Will I be able to let this out? Will this work for what I'm buying it for? Will it work for a short let? Will people be able to come in? So you don't end up buying a property and in a year, 2, 4 years, 10 years, you've not made back your money. It's been one struggle to another because people are not coming to that area. The area is not selling short let. So you need to understand what works in that area. You need to know the value of what you are buying. If you are buying a land, is it a land? If you are buying a land at so price, if I'm to sell this land back at so price, will it profit me? Will I gain from it? If you are buying a land probably to develop an estate, will I be able to sell this land back at so price in a year? So all of these are things that you need to consider before investing in real estate. The value of the property, the value of what you're buying into, the cost and the income, how much it is costing you, if it is worth it. If you are buying a house in this location, what is the land costing? If you are buying a house, what is the price of the land? Okay, so now let's calculate how much it will take for you to build that building, and is it worth it? Is it something that I should put my money into, or is it something that it is way on the high side? So all of these are things that you need to consider before investing in real estate. Number 5 on my list is your investment purpose. Factors to consider: investment purpose. Investment purpose. Why am I investing in this property? What is the purpose of this investment? What do I want to use this property for? If I'm buying this house, what am I using it for? Am I living there? Am I buying it to lease out? Am I buying it to rent out for a long time or a short time? Am I buying it to sell immediately or to sell later? If you are buying a land, why exactly am I buying this land? What is the purpose of this investment? You need to understand this, because there is different area for different stuff. there's different areas where different things work. You can't just buy any property anywhere and use it for anything. You need to understand what works in this area. If you are buying a property to sell immediately, where exactly is this property? This will make you understand where you're buying this property into. Let's take for example, you can buy or build a property now at Monia, or develop an estate with houses and expect to sell all of the houses at Monia, rather than how fast you're going to sell it at Bodija. Let's compare Monia and Bodija. If you know very well that when you buy a property at Bodija, when you build houses, you build duplexes at Bodija, it is going to sell a lot faster than when you build the duplexes at Monia. And so when you build it at Monia, it is going to take the grace, as in serious grace of God, for you to sell that property, because what exactly is going on in the area. But for Bodija, okay, Bodija is very, very developed, this is going to work. Same thing as Shortlet in Bodija is going to sell very fast, as in you're going to make your money very fast compared to Monia. So these are the things that you need to consider. What is the investment purpose? Am I buying this house to let it out? Will people rent houses in this area, or is it too far? Will I be able to rent it at a good price? You can't compare the price you're going to rent a house at Kolapo Ishola with the price that you're going to rent a house at Ojo. At Kolapo Ishola, you can still rent out a 2-bed for 2 million naira, 2.5 million. And at Ojo, the maximum you can go for a 2-bedroom is about 500,000 naira. So all of these are things that you need to put in place. What exactly is going to work? What is the purpose of this investment? Why exactly am I buying this property? These are the factors that you need to consider before investing in real estate. Let's go on a short break and we'll be right back to talk about the rest of the factors to consider before investing in real estate. Stay with us.
Beats.com.
Hey, mama, my good friend. They say, show me your friend, tell you oh, my friend, I know fit deny. It was the good times we shared, never ever ever forend. I will never forget. Good times are always gone. Lately I have been so cold, and I wanna be with you, my friend. Good times are always gone.
Welcome back to Talk Real Estate with Aloore Oluwaseun, and thank you for staying with us. And don't forget, we are still live on Aloore Radio, on Facebook and on YouTube, Aloore Radio, and the website www.alooreradio.com. And the topic for today on Talk Real Estate with Aloore Oluwaseun is the important factors to consider before investing in real estate. And earlier on, I've talked about 5 factors, and we'll be moving forward from there. Number 1, I said what you should consider. Number 1 is the type of property. Number 2, your budget. Number 3, the property location. Number 4, the property value. And number 5, the investment purpose. So going forward, number 6 factors to consider before investing in real estate. Number 6 is the expected return on investment. Like I said on the investment purpose, expected return on investment. When you're buying a property, you need to consider stuff about why you're buying the property, why you're investing in this property, and also you also need to consider what are the expected income on this property. How much am I going to make in this area? If I'm buying a house, or if I'm building a house in Ojo to build, I want to let it out, how much am I going to make back on it? All of this still sums up to your budget, because the price of land in Ojo is not as high as the price of land in Kolapo Ishola. You can't compare both. It is almost like times 10 the price. So when you are building on this, you need to understand how much am I going to make back from this. You don't just invest in things and just not care about how much you're going to get back on the investment. The purpose of investment is for you to make profit. So when you're investing in something, you need to be able to understand, to calculate how much you're going to get back, bad or bad, how much you're going to get back on this at the end of the year. No matter how worse it's going to be, how much am I expecting to get back on this? So all of these are things that you need to calculate. Okay, if I'm renting out this apartment, by the time I remove the money for management, by the time I remove the money for renovation, by the time I remove the money for a lot of things, how much is still going to come back to my pocket? Is it worth it? If you're opening a commercial property in different area, how much am I going to get back on what I am building here? If you are building shops, you need to consider where you are building your shops. I mean, building a shop at Bodija Market, you know it will sell faster, or you'll be able to rent it out faster than building a shop in a very closed area that is just few people staying there. So all of these, you need to consider them before investing in real estate. What exactly are you building? What exactly do you want to invest into? Okay, will this work in this area, or what is the best area that it is going to work? We all know when you're building a commercial property, it is advisable for you to build it facing the major road rather than you building it inside. You only build a residential property inside, which is advisable because of the noise from the cars. You don't even want to build your house near the road to stay in. It's not something that you're going to enjoy. So it is always advisable for commercial property because everybody can see it, everybody can know what is going on there, and this is going to make a lot of people want to buy that property or rent that property if you're renting it out. So you need to calculate your expected return on the investment. If I'm investing into this, if I'm buying a land and I want to develop an estate in this place, will I make back my money? Will people buy it as fast as possible, or the environment will not make people want to buy into this? So you need to consider this. You are buying a property, you want to develop an estate. Where is this property? Will people buy it? Also put yourself in people's shoes. Will you buy it to come and stay? Will you buy it to develop? Like I said earlier on, buying a property, if you want to buy a property and build immediately, is different from you want to buy a property and leave it for a long time. You can't say because this is how much you can afford and I also want to buy a house and build immediately, then you go as far as inside the bush to buy a property and you want to start building immediately. You need to consider a lot of things. Number one, you need to consider the road network. Number two, electricity. Is there electricity there already? Is there pole there already, or there's no way for you to get electricity across? Number three, the drainage system. How are you going to get drainage system? What about water? So all of these are things that you need to consider. Don't just buy a property anywhere. If you are buying to build immediately, then you need to buy into an area that has good road, an area with good electricity. Even if the electricity is not that good, at least there is electricity in that area already. An area where you can easily get water, an area where you can easily get to the road. So all of these are things that you need to consider before investing in real estate. You need to think about it very well before going into this. By the time you consider all of this, it will be easier for you to know exactly what you want to buy, exactly what you want to put your money into. Number 7 on my list is payment plans. The payment plans, like we all know, not everybody can afford to buy a property at once. That is why there's been a lot of company, a lot of real estate deals for different people. If you want to buy a property, you are allowed to spread your payment for 12 months, to spread your payment for 6 months. So you need to find a payment plan that works for you. You don't have to break your bank to own a property. Find a payment plan that works for you. Which real estate is doing a deal that you know would work for you? You are a salary earner, you know how much you earn per month, but you also want to invest in real estate. What should you do? So you need to go as far as research on which company has a deal that can work for me, that I can pay monthly. As my salary comes in, I can remove from it and pay monthly and own a property in a year, in 2 years. So all of these are things that you need to consider before investing in real estate. The payment plan, what works for you, what works for different people. Some people can afford to buy a property of 100 million naira at once, while some people cannot afford to buy a property of 1 million naira at once. So you need to stick with a payment plan that works for you. You don't have to break the bank or go collect loan or sell stuff for you to get property. Get a payment plan that works perfectly fine for you. A payment plan that will not stretch you too much as you know, okay, as you're getting your salary, you can still able to remove some for a property and also still have more money to spend on other things. So these are things that you need to consider. And number 8 on my list is your real estate laws. When I say real estate laws, different areas have their own laws before you buy into it. This has caused serious problem. I mean, you need to know what works in the buying into. For example, let's take Kolapo Ishola or Carlton Gate for an example. You know very well, if you are buying into Carlton Gate, you know every year you need to pay security fee, you need to pay for drainage, you need to pay for a lot of fees, you need to pay for some things for you to stay in that estate. Can you pay? And you also know that when you have a visitor, when someone is coming to visit you, you need to call the gate and tell them, okay, so person is coming to visit me, let them in. So you need to understand what works in each estate. There are do's and don'ts of each area. There are things that you would do and they'll tell you, please don't do this again. So you can't say, a lot of people would say, I bought this place with my money, it is my money that's spent here, what do you mean I cannot do what I want? You cannot make noise. There are other people in the area. You can't throw a loud party. It is not allowed. You can't run a commercial business in this place. It is not allowed. So you need to understand the estate law. You need to understand what works in each area so that you don't end up causing too much trouble for yourself and it is fight up and down, fighting with different landlord and all. Each estate, each area have their own rules and regulation. They know the amount they pay security guys or Olode or the security or Olode. They know how much that they pay them per year. If it is monthly that they pay, if it is yearly that they pay. Some people pay monthly, some people pay yearly. Some people hold their landlord meeting every Saturday. Some people hold it every last Saturday of the month. So all of these are things that you need to know into the area that you're buying into. You don't just buy anywhere and feel like you can live anyhow you want. You need to consider people around you. So for the area to be, safe for everyone to live in, some estates have a time that once you come in by this time, they will lock the gates. You can't come in again, or else you have to call the security, the CSO, to come and clear you in, and you have to tell them why you are still out by that time. Can you cope with that? So you don't go into that estate and after they told you that by 12, oh please, everybody needs to come in or else we'll not open the gate. Oh, you come in by 2 and you're fighting them at the gate. It won't work. They made all of this clear before you came into the estate. You need to find out about all of this. And also the 9th one of my list is the land title document. Like I said last week, documentation is very, very important in buying into real estate. What are the documents on the property you're buying into? How safe is it for you to buy into? What kind of document does it have before you put your money into it? So you need to consider the property documents. And number 10, the construction of the property you're buying into. You are buying a house. How good is the material they used? How good is the feeling? How good is the foundation of this property? You need to cross-check all of this. You need to find out all of this. How good is the area that it is built into? Why are they selling it? Are they having water problems? Are they having electricity problems? What is the connection of the electricity within the house? So that you don't buy a house and you start spending lots of money and breaking things, breaking this and breaking that. We've seen all of this happen. You break a lot of things for you to correct a lot of mistake that has been done in the house. So you need to find out all of this. What is the pipe like? What kind of pipe is used? Is it something that after 3 months is going to burst and you have to start breaking the walls to bring out the pipe and fix it? So all of this is what you need to consider before buying into real estate. All of the things, these 10 stores that I've listed, and what you should consider before buying into real estate. And I'm going to go over them again. Number 1, I said the type of property. Number 2, your budget. Number 3, the property location. Number 4, the value of the property. Number 5, the investment purpose. Number 6, the expected return of investment. Number 7, the payment plans. Number 8, the real estate laws guiding the area you're buying into. Number 9, the property document. And number 10, the construction of the property. So this is another thanks for staying with us on today's episode of Talk Real Estate with Liskari Oluwaseun. And as you know, I am Liskari Oluwaseun and I am the CEO of Kike's Luxury Homes, and my duty is real estate, buying and selling of real estate property, home interior decor, home exterior decorations. This is what we offer. These are the services we offer. We help you buy property, we help you sell your property in the best area in the city of Ibadan or your state. So you can always call me or message me on Instagram, Kikes_luxury homes on Instagram, and WhatsApp or call me on 081-6222-0182, and let's talk about real estate. Let's talk about home interior decorations. Let's talk about everything you want to talk about, properties and buying and selling of properties. And don't forget to always stay tuned with us on Aloore Radio every Tuesday from 2:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Aloore Radio, YouTube, and on Facebook, Aloore Radio. Thank you for staying with us today, and have a nice day.
That when you lose your way, find the road back home.
Rainy days and lonely nights, feel like I'm losing time. Nowhere else to go, so I chase the fading light.